don't speak. Viewers, if you're active on social media handles like Instagram, X, or even scroll through reels on YouTube, all you see is concert goers and Coldplay fans sing praises for the live concerts by the British band both in Mumbai and Ahmedabad. And that seems to have caught the attention of Prime Minister Narendra Modi as well, as he too highlighted the quote-unquote fabulous pictures of Coldplay's concerts in India and said India has a massive scope for live concerts. He said he expected the state governments and the private sector to focus on infrastructure and skills to give a boost to the concert economy sector. The Prime Minister said at the Utkarsh Odisha Make in Odisha Conclave 2025 in Bhubaneswar, he spoke of all of this, and while his appeal may have gone to investors and big private sector players, the idea wasn't lost on anyone and made us rethink about this gradual evolution that India's economy is witnessing in terms of staging itself as one of the key destinations for these global concerts. Do remember, it was not too long ago that Punjabi superstar Diljit Dosanjh also met Prime Minister Modi, and the two discussed India's potential to host music festivals bigger than Coachella. They shared visions for elevating India's cultural scene globally, and those pictures have still been going viral on social media. But let's take you through some figures. Here's the kind of revenue generated by Coldplay in its recent India tour. In 2023, for instance, Coldplay's concert in India generated a staggering 88 billion in revenue. Looking ahead, projections suggest that Coldplay's concerts in the two cities, Ahmedabad and Mumbai that is, could have generated up to 143 billion rupees. This expected growth reflects not only the band's global appeal but also the expanding concert economy in India, which is gaining momentum with increased investments in infrastructure and event management. Coldplay's success underscores the vast commercial potential of live performances in India, setting the stage for more high-profile international artists to perform going forward in the country. But this isn't a one-off, viewers. Overall, India's music industry is booming, both in terms of digital streaming and live events. India is now the second largest audio streaming market globally, driven by the country's massive digital audience and growing interest in music across all genres. The Indian music industry is also a major economic force, generating an impressive 12,000 crore rupees annually through streaming, music sales and other associated channels. In fact, India continues to be a hotspot for live music, with 27,000 live events expected to be held by November 2024. We've already seen Coldplay and several others add to the list already, and this once again showcases the increasing demand for large-scale concerts and performances in the country. Concert-related spending in India is also expected to surge to $60 billion by 2025, underscoring the significant economic impact of live events on tourism, hospitality and local businesses. India's live entertainment market is projected to grow $1.7 billion by 2026. This too indicates a bright future for the country as a key player in the global entertainment landscape. So it's the right time to take this discussion forward. We've opened our corner lines as well, so please feel free to dial in and share your thoughts and tell us whether you think India is now making it to being a concert economy, and what really is the road ahead for us. What do you make of your experiences, if at all you've attended any of these global concerts here in India? Call us as we decode how India is a lucrative concert destination. We'll talk about that, but first up, let's listen in to that comment that was made by the Prime Minister earlier today.
लाइव कंसर्ट्स के लिए भारत में कितना स्कोप है? दुनिया के बड़े-बड़े कलाकार, बड़े-बड़े आर्टिस्ट भी भारत की तरफ आकर्षित हो रहे हैं। कंसर्ट इकोनॉमी से टूरिज्म भी बढ़ता है और बड़ी संख्या में जॉब्स क्रिएट होती है। मेरा राज्यों से, प्राइवेट सेक्टर से आग्रह है कि कंसर्ट इकोनॉमी के लिए जरूरी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पर फोकस करें, जरूरी स्किल्स पर फोकस करें।
Before we go across to our viewers who will be dialing in shortly, I want to quickly introduce Image Guru Dilip Cherian on the broadcast along with Shailendra Singh, founder Percept and also founder of Sunburn, one of the first few initiatives that really brought in this concept to India. If I can begin with you, Shailendra, how far have we come as a nation? You know, you've been tracking this journey, and it's been a sight not to miss out, isn't it? I mean, look at these visuals and the splendid turnout that we saw at Ahmedabad. Of course, it can cater for as many people, but this industry surely is booming.
For sure, like in Hindi, they say "Aye, lekin durust aaye." Better late than never. Welcome to the party, Mr. Prime Minister. Well, we started this initiative in 2007, and let me, be honest about this. Need 176 permissions to do an event in this country. I've done about 7,000 gigs in this country across, all states, all cities. And D.Y. Patil that you saw Coldplay in, we did an event there with 100,000 people in 2015 and 17. So it's not new, but yes, it is great that the Prime Minister understands and identifies the opportunity of something called music tourism. I won't call it concert, just restricted to concert. Like your statistics just showed about the entire music tourism is a business, just like sports tourism in South Africa and Australia. Those two nations are built on sports tourism. And therefore, I feel that the potential for music tourism is immense. We have the youngest population on the planet, but like Mr. Modi himself correctly suggested, that we need to go bottom up and top down. So infrastructure is the reality. I feel that the government and the Prime Minister really wants to make this happen. I speak with experience of 5,000 events in India. He needs to make this a central government initiative. Each state, we are the United States of India. Each state has his own philosophy. That's why Diljit was upset with his concert in Punjab.
But he's receiving a lot of flack for it, because given the success Coldplay's enjoyed, there's a troll brigade after him as to how dare you undermine our infrastructure when Coldplay's been able to put up an equally splendid show.
Quickly look. The stadium that Coldplay is being talked on, all the visuals that you're showing is Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad. It's an alcohol-free state. Nothing can go wrong in a stadium that has the Prime Minister's name on it. But India needs to rise up to the opportunity. You've shown some phenomenal statistics. I hope they all come true. But I feel that infrastructure, top-down, bottom-up, is a necessity, and we have to understand that when cricket is a religion in this country, you build cricket stadiums. When you want to play cricket. So if you really want to do concerts and concert economy, Mr. Modi will have to tell his ministry and his central government to allow the states to build infrastructures. You'll have to fund them. Private bodies doing stadium build-up is going to take a long time. So if you want to make this happen like Mr. Modi wants, he's got to take the bull by the horn and make it happen.
Okay. Dilip Cherian, this is also part of our broader cultural economic phenomena, and we're slowly seeing, a redefinition of the entertainment industry. But what changes for you when, for instance, a Prime Minister, of the country starts taking personal interest in ensuring that this space is also equally pampered? It's receiving funds, there's an infrastructure development that takes place around it. But yeah, like I said, as simple as just pampering this industry, how important do you think it is?
I think pampering the industry requires just one very big thing. Getting government and bureaucracy to move out of the way. Shailendra mentioned the need for funding, locations and things, but I think there's enough private investment that's ready to do it. The only problem is the number of rules and the number of permissions it takes. The entertainment tax people should have made a huge amount of money if the numbers that we're talking about at the Coldplay concert are correct. And they need to make sure that aside from paying their taxes and ensuring a broad sense of safety, they get out of the way and don't make the performers and the organizers have to run around and give hundreds, thousands and thousands of tickets free. Because in India, we have a freebie culture, which actually is the killer of all these concerts and much of the entertainment industry. There's a huge opportunity. It employs people. It makes the younger generation very happy. It creates new kinds of opportunities.
Do you think that has played a big role? And of course, it has to come in with a sense of some space being created for this industry, isn't it? So there's space definitely that's been created, but the younger generation, this generation, is very experiential. They want to go for luxury, they want to go for travel, they want to go for live experiences. Do you think it's a generational shift that's also made a huge, huge difference?
Yes, Christine, the reason why it's making this kind of impact and why it's growing in the post-COVID scenario is because people don't get satisfied with merely the digital.
Yeah.
They want the experience, they want the feeling of
Yeah.
being with others who are enjoying the band. As I said, the main thing that if Mr. Modi is certain about this, he needs to get government out of the way, make sure that neither the police nor the petty bureaucrat on the spot is extracting what they do. You really can create a fantastic new industry. India is the only country in the world which has this growing young population. They are the ones who enjoy it. And
Yeah.
remember one more thing, that it's not just the young. There is huge room for nostalgia type stuff where people of an older generation,
Yes.
which is also a growing cohort in India, will want to go and listen to
Can I
bands.
just use this as an opportunity to cite Bryan Adams' concert, for instance,
Yeah,
as an example? Even Coldplay, I thought, going by the visuals alone, and unfortunately, I couldn't make it to one of those, neither now nor back in 2023, and that's on my list surely. But, you saw the entire family together participate and enjoy
Totally.
and dance their way through. So there is some sort of shift that we're seeing. But Shailendra, since you've been tracking this growth story for India, there was a time that these live experiences, concerts were limited to Delhi, Mumbai, for instance. Now they're slowly moving to cities like Shillong, Pune, Hyderabad, new corners that we see these musical experiences reach in our country. So there has to be some change in infrastructure, some space we've created for it, something that's worked in our favor. What is that one thing that's worked for us that's ensuring that this only continues to expand as an experience, as a concept, and should we not use it to our advantage more?
So you hit the nail on the head. I signed Coldplay a decade ago. This is the first time I'm saying that on TV with Live Nation. And I think I guess it was premature to bring him. Everybody got scared. With Sunburn, we had a collaboration with Tomorrowland. And the promoter said, Shell, do you really want to bring Tomorrowland to India? Do you think India is ready? But I think in 2025, the sun is shining. And like Dilip said, correctly, there is an issue with India, with the freebies, the 176 permission. I have to say this on your channel today, and with utmost responsibility and experience. I've done close to 5,000-6,000 events, and I'll tell you one thing, that 90% of the events, I got 30% of the permissions after the event was over. That's how it works in India. But I feel that in 2025...
But isn't that the case elsewhere, Shailendra? I mean, you must have done your research. How does it work elsewhere? We're seeing this concept out and about since the longest time.
Well, I can't take a decision on Europe and America, but I personally believe that those are sort of mature economies. India is now there. India, like I said, the sun is shining on India. The youth of India, like Dilip said, and the population per se is excited. And also now, there is no small town and big town. Okay, because of the digital exposure and the social media, everybody is exposed to this. They knew what Coldplay is going to give them before Coldplay arrived here. They knew that they're going to get once in a lifetime experience.
Yes.
And they didn't mind shelling out 25,000, 75,000 rupees. 80% of people in Ahmedabad flew from outside Ahmedabad.
So it's the personal experience, Mr. Dilip. Do you think Coldplay's been able to ensure that the same experience is going to be recreated on each and every stage in each and every nation? For instance, those bands that go with the music and, every other effect that you're seeing in these visuals that make it so spectacular that the Prime Minister couldn't help but notice. Do you think it's the experience that really counts and sets it apart?
Between the kind of energy of the crowd is the fundamental building block on which all entertainment rests. If bands try and shortchange Indian audiences and do cut-rate performances, they won't work. Indians will reject them straight away. Also, you can't do that because of this global entertainment nexus where people are seeing performances in Buenos Aires as often as they're seeing performances in San Francisco. So I think sharing this point that over 60% of the audience in Ahmedabad flew in indicates, and also remember that we've had very large Indian audiences fly to places like Bangkok to watch shows. So the Indian audience is willing to shell out the extra for transport and location stays where necessary. And I think, Christine, you made the very important point that the shift out of just metropolitan India, which in many places is overcrowded and unable to bear the burden and doesn't have the cheap staying facilities is moving to cities. I think the Prime Minister making the point in Odisha is an example. You know, there is a huge market in places which are underexploited, like the Shillong that you already mentioned.
Yeah.
Oh yes, absolutely. That's also good news for us, isn't it? Spending power also seeing a hike, and that's what's adding to this kind of a turnout that we saw in Ahmedabad and Mumbai. Shailendra, I'm sorry, that's all the time we have, but I think there is consensus on the fact that live music has indeed found a thriving home in India. Thank you, gentlemen, for that very insightful conversation.